Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of the world, wherever you're dialing in from. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our celebrity guest, Anire Okogun. Anire, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Venkat.
Anire has scintillating work experience. She spent about two and a half decades in corporate field before she decided to dedicate her life to the empowerment of women. And as we speak, she's running a microfinance bank that empowers 30,000 women. You're right, you heard the word correct, 30,000 women. So over the next 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to talk to Anire about her journey, her inspiration, and what really drives her to jump out of bed every morning and do what she's doing. So Anire, welcome.
Thank you very much, Venkat. It's good to be here.
Lovely. Anire, tell us your journey.
Well, thank you. My journey has actually been a very interesting one. It's been a journey of support, a journey of courage, a journey of focused dedication. I come from a family where education was taken very serious. It was an intentional thing by my father. He trained all his children, both girls and boys. And he wanted them to have equal opportunities. So I came from that kind of background. So I got the right skills, and over 3 decades ago, just like you said, I started my career in banking. Banking was also very interesting. It was an opportunity for me to see how people can be empowered by whatever little support they get, especially as it relates to capital, to be able to turn that around and do things meaningfully, especially women, to make them financially independent. But when I was working in the retail sector of a commercial bank, I just discovered that accessing finance was a problem. It was a big challenge, especially when you can speak all the big grammar, where you can't have all the kind of details they want you to have. So nobody looks at you. So sometime in 2008, I just decided to go deliberate. As soon as the microfinance framework was set up in my country, for people to get licensed and begin to do microfinance, I took up that opportunity and got a license from the central bank of my country. And from there, I started my empowerment journey for women and also entrepreneurs generally. So that has been my journey. So my career, yes, like I said, has been about 3 decades. So for the first 15 years, I was in retail banking before I set up as an entrepreneur in the last 15 years, where I founded Chanelle Microfinance Bank in 2008. And then Chanelle Microfinance, I was the first, of course, managing director of Chanelle Microfinance, and I took the bank from a zero balance sheet to over 60,000 clients, and out of which over 30,000 women were empowered during that period. And also that period, we discovered that it's not just empowering, it's not just giving out loans. A lot of these women also needed to be trained in skills. So that was what led us to set up Chanelle Foundation. So the foundation practically just takes care of people who want to acquire skills. So we get experts in various skill learning, because we know that when people have skills, they will be able to work with those skills and be able to also empower others and also become financially dependent.
Awesome.
So that's the journey so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And viewers, I must tell you this: the next question, and then sit down if you are standing somewhere, is going to throw you off. Anire set up a Microfinance Bank about 15 years back, and as we speak, she has 30,000 women who have been empowered through this program. So we are going to quickly turn to you and ask you, what was the point that triggered the setting up of this microfinance bank, and where do you see yourself, let's say 5 years from now, with the bank?
Well, thank you. That's a very good question. What triggered this? Like I said earlier, the trigger for me was that small businesses were not being paid attention to, and a lot of people keep coming to you to say, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? So you say, okay, why? So I just said, so these people will come to me. Why don't we scale it up? Why don't we structure it so that we get them to see what they can do, and maybe with small loans and probably mentoring, they will be able to become independent, so they don't have to depend on people, and then they can also put the skills they have acquired to bear, so that they can also empower others. So to me, I just looked at the long processes for women to access loan, especially since most of these small businesses do not have the kind of huge collaterals they will be asking them for. So I said, if we do something where women and entrepreneurs, genuine entrepreneurs, can come and take advantage of the small loans we give to them to become entrepreneurs and also be self-sustaining, I think that would help drive the economy better and also drive their personal finances and make households better. I think for me that was the trigger that made me set up Chanelle Microfinance Bank. And over the years, the bank has grown in leaps and bounds. It's still there. It's getting stronger every day. There's a new management in place running the bank now. I'm no more the managing director. I've moved on to some other things, some other interests that I have, but I'm on the board. So, and the bank is doing well. Our plan is to be able to reach out to more communities in Nigeria and also be able to see if we can become a regional bank, going from where we are now to moving on to a regional bank.
Beautiful, absolutely awesome. And I know of a similar story in India of a woman who did that. So kudos to you, and absolutely fantastic. It is so inspiring, my dear friends, as we speak to Anire. Anire set up this bank, and we will talk about her challenges down the show. But you moved on, and you set up Chanelle Foundation many years back, and that was set up with the objective of giving back to society, empowering women with a skill program that they could use to create self-sustainable livelihoods for themselves. Tell us more about it, and tell us what led to the birth of the Chanelle Foundation.
Okay, Chanelle Foundation was actually set up in 2009. So what happened was that from the bank, we discovered that some people do not really have the requisite skills and to do business. So once they go into those businesses, sometimes they fail. And so we thought, okay, with our foundation, we'll be able to train people in skills where they have interest. So the idea was to get experts. It's a way of giving back. So we look at our immediate environment and look for experts in various fields like IT.
Okay.
Look at experts in fields like, say, fashion.
Oh.
Which is one big thing in my country.
Yes.
Makeup, style,
okay.
Lifestyle. So we just look for experts who will come train people who are interested in different skills. So once they are trained, we will now give them like a small loan to start up, like a starter pack for them to start up and begin to build their own businesses as a way of being sustainable. So the idea is to make them financially independent and also be included, financially included. So that way, they are also growing businesses. They're able to employ other people, and in that manner, the GDP of the country also grows.
Absolutely.
So that was their idea before.
And curiously, I would like to know: have you met or bumped into these women while out in the streets, out in the city, and if you have, what have they told you?
Wow. In fact, it's an everyday thing. When I remember when sometimes people come to visit me because
Okay.
where I operated was like a little community,
Okay.
right in the market.
Okay.
So once you say, "Oh, I want to see so and so," so from a distance you just see people. "Oh, let's take you there." You see so many people offering to help, So that way, in your modest way, you've been able to impact, So you get the recognition, as you move on. You get the support too, because sometimes these people you empower, you also need them sometimes. So you get their support, and then you get their affirmation. And above all, you're also very happy. You're satisfied that you've been able to support others to grow.
Beautiful, beautiful. You, Anire, have been an advocate for women empowerment all along. My question to you is, so that's a great thing. What have we done more, or what should we be doing more as a society to help you in the process, or actually empower the community as a whole?
Okay, thank you. That's a very touchy one for me because, like I said earlier, I've had the support from home. So women must be encouraged even from home as mothers. I'm a mother of 6, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
6 lovely children.
Awesome.
So from home, you must give all your children equal platforms. You must ensure that you don't give preferential treatment to anyone. So because if you raise a good family, you raise a good society. So everything actually starts from the home. And I also believe in collaborative work with the men. I don't believe women should work in silos. I don't believe that women should see the men as competitors. They're actually partners. So right from the home, you must make sure that you have a partnership. And that partnership should also radiate everywhere you go. So you collaborate with the men to be able to raise a better society. So men must support women because of the diversity. Because women bring to bear so many things the men do not have. And just like the men have so many things the women do not have. So by the time you have that diversity, it actually builds a better and stronger society where everyone benefits from, both the girl child, the boy child, everyone, the society, everyone benefits. So we must ensure that in advocacy, women advocacy, we must advocate for collaboration between the male and the female. And when the male don't know what we go through, when they don't know they don't know, they will not be able to help. So we must be able to see how we can get them to understand that we can also do that. Because you can imagine a home where the woman is working, the man is working, and by the time both of them bring in their expertise and bring in their contribution, you will see a solid home. Well, as against a home where one person is being pushed down. So that's why women at all levels, whether rural, city women, children, girls and boys, must be encouraged to work and must be encouraged to be financially dependent. So that way they can also swag, they can do the things they want to do, and they know that they have the support. So with that, they will also be able to encourage other people to grow. So generally, you see growth, you see progress, you see success in all areas. So that is why, as I preach advocacy to women and children, I also want to preach support. Encourage that the support also is given to everyone equally. So men should not see it as anyone competing. Men should just see it as see us as collaborators, and together we can raise a better family and a better society.
Beautiful, beautiful, really nice. Anire, your work, and I did some research before I came and spoke to you. So your work at the grassroots level, do throw some light on it and let us know, because we also want listeners to really understand what happens at the grassroots levels in countries like Africa, places like Nigeria, Lagos, and all of that. So,
grassroots is a different ball game. Some of the challenges we have in grassroots way back in Africa, I'm sure it's the same thing all over the world, is that first, because of customs and norms, a number of them have not been even allowed to go to school. So many of them, we still have them as uneducated, even adults and children. So education is there. A lot of them don't know how to navigate. They don't have access to market, access to opportunities, access to digital empowerment. So a lot still needs to do, and it has to come from, it's a multifaceted support we need to give to the grassroots. First, we have government. Government has to ensure that mass literacy is taken down to the grassroots. People are encouraged to go to school. And when we have these culture norms, government should deliberately put policies in place to ensure that these customs, do not put the people at the rural communities at an advantage. So every child should go to school, because knowledge is power. That is a starting point. We must ensure that everyone goes to school. Then also civil society, they have a lot of work to also do, because sometimes government cannot reach everywhere. So civil societies can help carry out literacy campaigns to various rural communities. Then we also need to ensure that digital literacy is taken down. And how do we do that? Many of our communities do not even have internet. Many of our rural people do not even have devices. They don't even have devices. They don't know how to operate devices. So government must ensure that rural communities must be carried along in terms of infrastructure. So that way, because if everyone in the rural setting is able to access literacy using their phones, is able to access literacy using their phone. So that way, they will become more empowered, because they are aware about what is happening to them health-wise. They are able to navigate solutions right from their phones, even in rural settings. They know what is happening in urban settings. They are able to get tips on what is using. So we must accelerate. And the way to go now is to accelerate, to drive this divide, between the urban and rural, is to ensure that digital transformation is carried out right to the grassroots level.
Beautiful. That is so well said, Anire, and I'm so glad you spoke about transformation and technology. And truly, societies have been able to bridge the gap because of digital. So thank you very much for enlightening. Let's talk about women a little bit. How do you think, Anire, women should stand in solidarity with each other?
Okay. Before now, there used to be this saying that women don't support women.
Right.
And when you have female bosses, and sometimes they want to lord it, they don't even want you to. But I think all of that is changing. Excellent. Because there's been a lot of awareness, and everyone knows the space is big enough to accommodate. The more the merrier. So as you empower one person, the person takes it along and bring other people on board. So I think women should not see themselves as competitors. They should just see themselves as partners, as working to drive the goal of bridging the gap. So in whatever platform, whatever capacity you find yourself as a woman, you must be working to ensure that we bridge that gap. Because we heard from the opening remarks today that half of the world's population, little slightly over, are women, and women are only 30% of the world's contributing to 30% of the world's GDP. So at least we should do half, even if we're not doing more than half. So there's a lot of gap. So as women, we must ensure that that gap of 1/3 to the world's GPA must be bridged. And to do that is not to see ourselves as competitors, it's to see ourselves as collaborators, to ensure that we pass on to the next generation, which is by also empowering young girls so that they start early to know that they must take their rightful position in STEM, in STEM, in STEAM, and we must build their confidence to let them know that they can do it, and they are the ones who are going to hand over to, so they must be prepared. It's a journey, and so it's a journey. We must teach them with style, constructively, and ensure that everyone is pulled along.
So very well said. And I like it when you say it with a smile, Anire. So, which is my next question. I'm sure your journey has not been a bed of roses. It's not been a cushion walk all along, and you've had to tread on thorns and deep rivers, like they say, and walk on stony paths. So my question to you really is, how have you brushed yourself and told yourself that no, I'm going to continue on this journey despite what happens, and I'm going to fight this and overcome it? What's that voice inside your head that keeps telling you to do that?
Thank you. Very beautiful question. The thing is that as a woman, you must be prepared for challenges as a human being, and challenges would always come whether you ask for it or you don't ask for it. So at all times, I want to say you must be prepared. So get yourself prepared. As women, we must be intentional about what we do, and you must first get the right skills, because if as a woman you don't have the right skills and you are not able to navigate your skills properly, when the challenges come, you will not be able to live up to it. And so it's also important that the mindset it's well prepared for a business journey. Because if you don't have, and what mindset is a mindset of courage to be able to confront risk, to be able to confront challenges, and as you see them, to be able to navigate through them without even looking like the problems you're going through.
Right.
So the idea is not to look like the challenges or the problems you're going through. It's to be able to navigate through it and come out really strong and looking like nothing has happened, except that you're still the woman standing. So you get the skills, your mindset is prepared for it, you are intentional as a woman, and when the challenges come, you confront them, you don't run away from them, you look at them, and like I said earlier on, prepare your plan. You must have a plan. So you work with your plan. From time to time, you evaluate your plan and see where you are on that plan and your journey. So if it's not working, if it needs retweaking, you go back and tweak it. And if it needs reworking, you go back and rework it. And businesses fail. I recover at some point. I remember that at some point I was struggling because, like I said, I've always been intentional. When I decided to go back for my doctorate in the US, I was already in business. I think I just started with my microfinance about 5 years. So I said to myself, because I had my family, I said to myself, how will I be able to manage all of this at the same time? So first, like I said, you must take care of the home front. So I was very intentional about ensuring that I had the support of my husband, my partner. It was very supportive, and
Beautiful.
with that support, I also elicited my children's understanding that you need a woman has to grow, and because we have to grow, we have to also make some sacrifices. So I got the family support. We made the sacrifices, and at some point, my business suffered because some I couldn't give it the kind of attention. But again, you would have to look at it, and you would have to look at your plan and see where it's missing. So we had to go back to the plan and ensure that the right structure was in place to be able to cover up for where I had my absence. So by the time we put in the right structure, we were able to navigate through it and ensure that the business came back on stream, and everyone was able to achieve both. I was able to achieve both my personal goal as well as my organizational goals.
Beautiful. Speaking of family, 6 beautiful kids and a loving husband. You obviously spend a lot of time in the field, in the market, doing a lot of work that you do, 30,000 women and running a Chanelle Foundation. Has there been a time when your family has told you, Anire, I think you need to spend more time with us?
Oh yes, you get to hear them. Even as I was coming for this trip, my little daughter said, "Oh, not again." I said, "Oh, but you're used to it, so you just take them down and just explain that is a process, and you have to be a complete person.
Beautiful.
So you have to balance everything. Work is work, home is home. So from that stage, you begin to let them know that everything has its place and everything has to balance. Both the work, the social, the family, the spiritual. Otherwise, you just be in silos." I said, so I say to them, yes, there's time for everything, and everything must balance. You can't leave one. I can't be all family, and the other aspect of me is not activated. So it's only when everything is balanced you'll be able to achieve your full potential. Don't you want mommy to achieve her full potential? They say, "Oh, mommy, yes, we want to." So you ensure that you just explain and elicit your understanding. So after the explanation, sometimes it's okay, that's it. Bye, mommy. So
Sweet.
Don't be too long.
Sweet. Anire, who has been your inspiration?
Inspiration for me comes from God.
Beautiful.
God is my inspiration because I believe the spirituality is very important in every human being.
Awesome.
Because there must be someone you are hoping and looking up to and saying, "Oh, this person is my guiding force." So God is my inspiration, and family, like I said, to me has been very supportive. So I draw a lot of inspiration from my home, apart from God, from my home, and the success stories I have, especially with some of the people I've been able to empower. So sometimes I'm inspired by what I also see them do. So that way it gives me the drive to want to continue to be out there supporting other people.
Beautiful. As we come to the end of our show, Anire, I want to ask you one question, and then we'll do a rapid fire. What is your message largely to the women out there who are watching this show, and to the men as well, and more importantly to the younger generation of women who are coming out of colleges, universities, and out of jobs? What is your message to them?
My message to every woman out there is stay focused, stay intentional. Tell yourself you don't want to be where you are now. You want to take it up to the next level, and that next level is very important. It's very possible, and it's only you that can develop that mindset to take yourself to the next level. The next level is actually a very beautiful level. So, but it sometimes a lot of work has to go into it. So you must sacrifice something to be able to get there. So don't look at the sacrifice, just look at the journey ahead and know that the journey is taking you to that next level. And that next level would also support other people. That next level will bring an inspiration to others. So that is where the focus is, and that is where you want to drive. So be intentional, be disciplined. Discipline is the first rule. Be disciplined about everything you want to do and make your plan. So with your plan, your discipline, you will surely achieve your goals.
Beautiful. Anire, this is where I'm going to put you on the spot. As my trademark, I always round up my shows with a rapid fire. And for the viewers, so we're going to ask a series of quick fire questions to Anire, and she's going to answer it based on what comes to her mind. Are you all okay to go, Anire?
Yes, I'm okay. Yes,
good.
I'm
so women are?
Women are beautiful. They are strong. They have the capacity to do whatever they want to be. And they will have the capacity to work with their male counterparts and be able to close the gap between women and men. And they can be whatever they want to be.
Okay. Microfinance is?
Oh, microfinance. Microfinance, it's an institution that helps women and entrepreneurs access capital to be able to do their businesses and to be able to be self-sustaining and successful in whatever businesses they have decided to do. So that way, households are stronger, the economy is stronger, SMEs are stronger, and everyone develops.
Nigeria is?
Nigeria is a beautiful country located in the western part of Africa. It is green. It has
beautiful.
Good vegetation. We are rich in oil. The human capital is huge. Our people love education. They excel. They are very resilient people. They can withstand shock. They can withstand anything that is thrown at them. They are strong. They have the capacity to understand, the capacity to learn, and they are willing to learn.
Beautiful. And finally, Anire is?
Amira is a beautiful woman in her own space, doing her own thing, and trying to ensure that she also develop other people and ensure that and trying to make her contributions to helping people grow, helping people develop, especially women and girls, so that they will be able to bridge the gap between the male and female professionals, and also helping to self-develop business owners.
Lovely. So that, my dear friends, was Anire Okogun in our studios, and she said so many things. She spoke about women empowerment. She spoke about microfinance. She spoke about intention and discipline to get to where she was. She spoke about being a mother. She spoke about being a wife. She spoke about a family. She spoke about doing things at the grassroots level. She spoke about what we as a society should do more. She spoke about how women should stand in solidarity with each other. And finally, she left us with a beautiful message on what we should be doing as a community. So I have been extremely inspired and also touched along the way by some of the work she does. She's chosen the hard path, and she's living it every day. Let's all get some discomfort into our lives and try to contribute to the community and to the economy like the Anires of the world are doing. And before we leave, Anire, I would like any last words to the viewers before we let you go from the studios.
Okay, thank you everyone, and thank you for listening to me. And that's just my own little story. I hope this story has been able to inspire someone. It's a journey, and a journey It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes intention, good intention. And so, if you have all of this, you will achieve and be able to get to your destination. So take it easy. Wherever you are, just be you, just be yourself. And it's okay the way you are. Look at what you are holding and see how you can work with it. You don't have to do what I'm doing. With whatever you're holding, I'm sure you'll be able to inspire other people.
Brilliant. So let's be that unique snowflake. And Anire, thank you very much for coming to the studios. It has been such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.